It has a very simple mechanism. It's a control to control, in this case, both the brake and the accelerator. It has conceptually a very simple mechanism. So when you pull it, so you push this thing, and it will push through a mechanical mechanism. It'll push the brake pedal. Very simple. And for me, what was interesting about it was it's pretty much the same natural motion. That is, I want to stop, and after 50 years of driving, or however long it's been, you want to push something to stop. It turns out that by loosening a little knob here, I can also make it run the accelerator. Right now it's locked out, so it won't do that. But it's also very conceptually. It's just got an inner piece that if it was active right now, I could pull it and it would run the accelerator. Now, for me, that's not as natural a motion as pushing to stop, pulling to accelerate. And I've done it. I've when in the process of getting all the paperwork and all the approvals done, I have driven it, and I didn't find it very difficult, but it's just not as natural a motion for me. But it's mechanically, it's pretty simple. And I also got what's called a spinner knob. This allows me to drive the car with my right hand, steer the car with my right hand, while controlling the brake and potentially the accelerator with my left hand. That's all. This is the kind of setup that a typical driver who hasn't lost a leg or doesn't have some major damage, isn't paralyzed. This is the kind of simple arrangement somebody with peripheral neuropathy, who's typically his biggest problem is his ability to move his legs quickly. That was my problem. So that's kind of typical people who have standard peripheral neuropathy. And so this is probably the kind of arrangement that if you have peripheral neuropathy, this is probably the first kind of driving arrangement you would probably get. It's pretty simple. I'm not saying that the actual mechanics of installing it are all that simple. I wouldn't want to try to do it in my Tinker Toys, but there are much more complicated forms than this for all kinds of disabilities. But it's conceptually easy to understand. The nice thing about it, as far as when my wife wants to drive the car, she simply pushes a button and gets rid of what she calls this annoying knob. This knob used to be a fairly popular thing back in the 50s and 60s. Men would put it over on this side and hold their girlfriend with the other arm, but that's not the use I make of it. Anyway, that's the story on my car.